bees.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Junior, aka Smoking Guns, out here in Tucson, Arizona, representing the Ultimate Fight Club, giving you the latest content in boxing and MMA news that is out. So today's video, we're going to be talking about Gilberto Ramirez versus Jesse Hart rematch, okay? This is going to be a really good fight, and if you haven't seen the last fight that they had, you should definitely check it out. It was a really good fight. Wasn't as close to me as it was to the judges, because I gave Gilberto Ramirez more rounds than the judges seen it, but it was still a really good fight, and it really did show a lot of heart from Jesse Hart, no pun intended, on being able to rally back to make it closer than it would have been. It would have been a blowout because Gilberto Ramirez really hurt him in the earlier rounds, and then Jesse Hart was able to come back and rally back to really make it a closer fight. So Gilberto Ramirez, he came out in an interview recently with the BoxingScene.com, and it states, "I dominated Hart in that last fight. Rematch no different." Now, it says Gilberto Ramirez thinks the judges got it wrong the first time he shared a ring with Jesse Hart. Ramirez beat Hart by small margins when they fought for the Mexican Southpaw's WBO Super Middleweight Title 14 and a half months ago in Tucson, Arizona. A confident Ramirez remembers the action unfolding differently when he withstood Hart's rally to retain his 168-pound championship in a 12-round encounter ESPN televised. "I dominated that fight," Ramirez said during a press conference Wednesday to promote their rematch Friday night, "and this fight won't be any different. It will only be one side, my side." Quote. It also goes on to state in the article, "I started with a knockout in Corpus Christi," Ramirez said, referring to a 6-round stoppage of Khabib Ahmed on February 3rd at American Bank Center. "And this time I want to finish with a knockout too in Corpus Christi. I hope everyone comes to enjoy that night." And Hart also came out in the article, which it states, "Things will be different because we corrected the little mistakes that didn't go right the first time," Hart said Wednesday. "So I just think with the mistakes that trainer Fred Jenkins corrected with me and being on that stage and that platform, I believe you will see a change in the outcome." Quote. Now, personally, there was a couple of things that both of these fighters could have done to make that first fight a lot more different. The one thing that I noticed with Jesse Hart is he had really good combinations and he had some really good power in his punches. He had some really good power. The only thing that I really didn't like is that he didn't use the jab enough. He had a really good jab, and he was throwing it out very well, but at the times when he really needed to stick that jab in Ramirez's face, you wouldn't see that jab at all. And the one thing that I noticed with Ramirez in that first fight is that he would be coming in on Jesse Hart trying to get on the inside so he could be able to sting the body, and he was rarely throwing the jab during the fight. Like, that really surprised me. He was just coming in, using his head movement. He would come with the straight left, maybe with the right hook, but he wasn't using his jab to effectively be able to come in on the inside, but he was still effectively getting in on the inside of Hart and being able to land effective shots on him. Now, that's a really big thing that I think Jesse Hart needs to go into this fight, is really sticking that jab in Ramirez's face and being able to work his combinations off of the jabs. Because like I said, he's a big puncher. He's actually coming off of his last 3 wins since that fight by knockout. So he's a really good puncher, and he really needs to be able to use that jab, keep it in Ramirez's face the whole night to be able to set up those big punches that he has. In the first fight, he was really able to set up the right uppercut. Nice, dude. He hit Ramirez a bunch of times in that first fight with the right uppercut. He actually hurt him with the short right hook in the 11th round in that first fight. The only thing about that is he didn't capitalize on it. When he hurt him, he didn't capitalize on it, and he kind of let Ramirez rally back in that round. So he has really good punching power. He just needs to have confidence in that going into this fight, using his jab to be able to set up his combinations effectively to be able to get those big shots off. And Ramirez, the one thing that I would like to see from Ramirez in this fight is using his jab more. He does have a good jab, and he's very effective on getting in the inside. And he really needs to be able to use that jab to be able to give Jesse Hart something to think about while he's working his way on the inside. And another thing that I noticed about Jesse Hart in that first fight is when Ramirez would be on the inside, I don't know why he wasn't trying to clinch with him. I don't know if he was just trying to box with him or whatever, but when somebody's on the inside with you and they're racking up your body, racking up combinations on the inside, I would definitely like to see him clinch, let the referee break him off, and keep Ramirez on the outside, because if he keeps Ramirez on the outside, use his footwork, use his combinations, his jab, use the boxing ability that I know he has, dude, he can make it a really hard fight on Ramirez. I really don't see him knocking out Ramirez, though. That's the only thing about this fight. If anybody gets hurt in this fight, I could see Ramirez stalking Hart and hurting him, just like he did in that first fight when he knocked him down. And he hurt him a few times in that fight. He hurt him in the second round, he hurt him in the fourth, and he hurt him in the fifth round. So I could really see Ramirez hurting Jesse Hart, but Jesse Hart, he just needs to box the brakes off of Ramirez, because he knows exactly what he wants to do, but he needs to have the endurance and the stamina to be able to stay moving, keep the jab in Ramirez's face, and box the friggin' brakes off of his ass. So it's going to be a really good fight, but if I had to choose, I still see Ramirez getting a decision in this fight. I really don't see him stopping Jesse Hart. Like, if he was going to stop him, he would have stopped him in that first fight. Like I said, I know he can hurt him, but even when he did hurt Jesse Hart was really good at being able to keep his composure, being able to stay calm under pressure, even after being rocked like that, and still be able to fight his way out of that round. So I really don't see anybody getting knocked out, but if somebody does get knocked out, shoot, then I'm wrong. But at the same time, I do see Ramirez getting this fight in a decision win. All right. So if you guys have any comments or questions about this, if you guys have any predictions about this, do go ahead and put them up in the comment section and we can chop it up. All right. So I hope you guys like the video. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have any kind of questions, any kind of comments on this, make sure to hit me up in the comment section and I'll be sure to hit you up. Okay. So I hope you like the video. Holla at your boy.